Brooklyn hit is not exactly out of the textbook. Paul Moore has been in the pocket, working a strike, looking to convert it into a double, and doing so very efficiently. And it looks like Paul Moore, after that sluggish start, has got his game together.
Yeah, 4 very good shots from Paul, and the last two have made strikes, so it's the first double, and we know what we say about the man that gets the first double. Right in the 1-2 pocket, carries all 10 pins. Great shot from the overhead camera there.
Yes, Paul's starting to crank it up a little bit now. Healthy advantage, 25 or so. And every time he strikes, he's forcing Lisa to find a strike as well. And she's dead on the head pin, gets lucky that she took 9. Lisa is just not finding the pocket with any consistency.
No, you're right, Nick. She's looks as though she's under pressure now. She just doesn't seem to have the ball for the moment. The fantastic style that we know of Lisa Rosario. And as you're seeing, that ball's hooked and it's just flattened out right onto the head pin. Fortunate to break the pins up.
It's a lovely style, isn't it, this approach? It really glides along. Oh dear, and it's all going horribly wrong here. This is an awful long way to come to watch your little sister have a tough time like this.
Well, unfortunately it goes from bad to worse, doesn't it? It wasn't the greatest shot, first of all. Fortunate to get a single pin, which was a very much a makeable spare, but unfortunately she's slid that ball to the outside of the lane and it's just aquaplaned past. And that's what Big Sister thinks about it. Oh dear.
Agony. Well, Lisa will be saying, take that scorecard away. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, no, it's certainly not the scorecard of a champion that we know she is. Paul Moore going to turn the screw now.
Well, doesn't take the 8. There's another good pocket hit. Paul's been pretty solid in the pocket after that early aberration. But again, he's been confounded. This time it's he's had a 7 stand, he's had a 9 stand. Now he's found the 8.
Yeah, the ball just cutting so much deeply in behind the head pin, straight through the 5 pin. And didn't deflect onto that 8. Should be a straightforward spare with a straighter ball. There's his spare ball into play. Covers it nicely.
It gives Lisa Del Rosario a little bit of a lifeline, and boy does she need it. If Paul starts going on a tear-up, there's no way back for Lisa, but every time Paul gets a spare, it gives Lisa an opportunity to chip it back if she can find a strike. 36 pins is the deficit. But Lisa, 1 strike, 3 open frames, and the strike was a Brooklyn hit. She really needs a good pocket hit, and that's it at last.
Well, that's the line she wanted to play. As you can see, the ball hooked up and then set right into the pocket and managed to carry all 10. It was the ball ended up as straight going into that 1-3 pocket, which you know, is a premium shot. Carries all 10. Obviously needed to redirect that radar and has done so. So she'll feel a bit better about that, but 30-odd pins adrift. It's quite a margin to pull back against Paul Moore.
Well, as you say, Cass, you certainly don't want it growing anymore. Now Paul will be thinking to himself, look, I'm in the pocket, let's take all 10. Don't give me another single pin standing up. No, that's a bit more like it.
Yeah, must have heard you. Another great shot from Paul Moore, the local man. Carried all 10 pins off the high hooking ball into the 1-2 pocket. And he looks a lot more relaxed. I think the pressure's off him now. He realises that Lisa's under pressure. He's got his strike shot going and carrying all 10. So he's very much in the driving seat.
Take a look at his delivery next time he's up. He's got a real high backswing, hasn't he, with that ball when he gets up to the approach. We'll perhaps have a look at that next time we see him. But you wouldn't call him one of those power bowlers. He's got deceptive power, Paul Moore. Lisa doesn't have much of a backswing at all. And she gets 9 off a decent pocket hit, and just looks as the lane as if to say, look, come on, give me a break.
Yeah, unfortunately, there was no rotation on that ball as it went into the pocket. I mean, it was in the right place, but it was going just a little bit too straight. A little bit more rotation on the ball, and it would have driven through and taken that 5 pin away, and would have been a strike. But it's just bounced off the 1 pin and totally missed the 5 pin in the middle there. Now, this is the pin that none of these bowlers should ever miss. It's right in the middle of the lane.
We've seen them missed.
Yeah, perhaps I shouldn't have said that, should I?
Not this time, thank goodness.
Yeah, fairly square, right on it. Takes it away, but she's really got some work to do now. She has to sort out this strike ball. What she's doing at the moment is just not working for her.
Yeah, let's see if we can take a look at this high backswing of the left-hander. He really does get very high with this ball. It's a very smooth follow-through.
Yeah, well, the higher the ball goes, it gives him a little bit more momentum and velocity. It is only a 15-pound ball that Paul is bowling. Managed to get lots and lots of rotation on it. Unfortunately, can't carry those three out. It was a little bit light in the pocket. It's the 3, 6 and the 9. And of course it's got that 3 and the 9-pin sleeper in there as well. There's the high backswing, the great follow through, steady at the line. Just not quite right.
Paul knows he's built himself up a useful advantage here, but if he misses this one, if he leaves an open frame, that advantage gets potentially wiped out in one frame. So big ball this, big spare.
Yeah, be looking to make it. And is fortunate enough to do so. So that's a bonus for him. It was a tricky one. He's managed to convert it and stays clean.
It keeps Del Rosario in touch though. 217 is the maximum score now for Paul Moore.
10-pin Masters, Lisa Del Rosario against Paul Moore. This is the foundation frame of the first game. Commentary from Cass Edwards and Nick Horling.
And just can't find strikes with any consistency. Just 2 in the match so far, and one of them was off a Brooklyn hit.
Yeah, she's not getting the reaction in the back end that she really needs to kick all those pins out. It's I wouldn't call it a weak shot that's hitting the pins, but it could be stronger with more rotation on the ball as it actually hits the pins. I mean, this may be the change in her game that she was talking about. Unfortunately, at the moment, it's not working for her. Takes the spare away quite nicely. Playing for 3 frames, but has 3 open frames in this match.
And that's the bottom line, isn't it, Cash? She's got more open frames than strikes, and you cannot have a decent card with 3 open frames in it, and she's looking at a 160-something score maximum now. We've seen a few of those in this tournament so far. We've had some 160s and 150s from world-class players as this lane condition continues to befuddle and baffle some of the world's best. Not Paul Moore on that occasion.
Well, as you mentioned, this lane has, and there's all the strike cards, they look great. This lane has taken its revenge on some of the players in recent games. And Paul Moore seems to be having a great time out there on the left-hand side. Absolutely rips the rack and takes all 10 pins yet again.
Yes, Lisa Del Rosario on pace for 160-something. Thomas Lee Anderson had a couple of 160s. Linda Barnes 151. Very low scores for world-class bowlers, and Lisa's going Brooklyn side again.
Yeah, leaves us 3 and a 10 pin. The baby split. Now she can take this 2 ways. She can either put the ball between the 2 pins or clip that lead pin on the left-hand side and jump it across to the 10. Again, the ball is flattened out through the head pin. This lane is playing some tricks with Lisa's ball, as it did with Thomas Lee Anderson and Linda Barnes, and it was a bit unfortunate that we didn't see their the skill and the style and the high scoring that we know that these players have got. And that's a poor end to the game, I'm afraid. 146 is very much below par. And Lisa may be changing balls now. She has to do something pretty desperate.
It's as bad as it gets for Lisa Del Rosario. 146. It's a club score. She's capable of so much more than